Is that supposed to be capitalized? Uh-oh.
Every day, Michelle Awkward returns from work to help her kids do their homework at her parents' house. Home for 4 of her children is in her mom and dad's home. The single mother and her youngest son live in her sister's house. That house is attached to her parents' residence.
That all makes sense, right?
The 36-year-old mom wants to live with her kids under one roof. She owns land to do that behind her parents' property. The problem is there's no way for her to legally get to her property. A road that would give her access isn't recognized by county government, so she can't obtain a house address, and her kids are wondering when they'll have their own place to call home.
They cry out every day, when are we going to get our house? When are we going to get our house?
Some Sandy Spring residents have used Farm Road as their legal access to this mostly African American community since the late 19th century. You can find the thoroughfare on early county plats and surveys. It runs from Brook Road to Goldmine Road, about 1.2 miles. Development has sprouted up around the community. With that growth, the road was restricted and then cut off in 2006. In October of 2008, property owners and lawyers worked to get the access cleared, but the situation remains the same. The so-called Farm Road isn't legal in the eyes of local government. Reportedly, officials of the local planning agency say the road doesn't show up on county records. Without a road, property owners can't get an address. And without an address, emergency vehicles can't find them. And with no address, they don't have permission to erect a house or sell the land.
I can't build on it, but I got to pay taxes on it.
Certainly. If it's have a buildable lot and you can't get a building permit on it, you can't build on it, then it reduces the value of it.
And value is what Sandy Spring property owners want to get out of their land. Some of them have lived in the community all of their lives, like Michelle Awkward. Others may have inherited property here or own the land through a real estate investment. There could be as many as 20 properties affected in some way by this issue.
I see a future, a better future for me, a better future for my family, a life-changing experience for me for the rest of my life. I bought this property as an investment for my retirement, and now I don't have it.
Farm Road is right next to the Sandy Springs Slave Museum and African Art Gallery. The museum not only traces the history of the African American community in this country, but also of those who live in Sandy Spring. Local historians say the area was settled by Quakers in the 1700s. A Quaker owner gave the property to emancipated slaves after the Civil War, property that's been passed down through the generations.
The deeds for every property shown on this map. Every property is shown in blue, green stripes, green, yellow, had a reference either right to the road or actually bordered the road itself. Actual deed reference is going back to the 1890s.
Some of the property owners and advocates for the community have looked to county officials for help. The local agency that regulates land use and issues house addresses is the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. This quasi-government agency takes care of business like this for Montgomery as well as Prince George's counties. But in this instance, it appears the courts may have the last word. Lawyers for the property owners are handling the case on the federal level.
It's just not clear to us what is motivating what is really an easily resolvable situation, which is all they have to do is go out there, see the property, see the road, and provide access and provide them with addresses and allow them to live their lives like everybody else should be able to live their lives.
Driving down Farm Road may also represent a drive to freedom. Some believe that the road was part of the Underground Railroad. And while the road has been blocked in recent years, someone has found a way to use it as a car cemetery. But on this trip, the purpose was to show that this thoroughfare could live
I'd
again.
like this road to be basically opened up for everyone who uses it. If it's a public road, I'd like it to be treated as such. I'd like it to be maintained by in a way that befits a public road. But I certainly would like the people that own property back here to be able to recognize that they have these rights and their property is worth something because they are served by this road, and that it shouldn't be taken away from them.
And the whole purpose of me having my own property was to build my house for me and my kids to stay in one place.
Michelle Arkwright and her children may have to wait a while longer for their new house. She and other property owners will have to see what will be the final outcome of the federal civil rights case filed on their behalf.